This is Carrier for Coloring Carrier, and I am back, and I am super excited to have a video for you today. I've been gone for quite a while, and I am feeling much better, so I thought we would do a video review of this book, which came out a while ago. As always, there are a bunch of links down below for various things. There's a subscribe link in one of these sides and a tip jar in the other. So let's get started. So this is Millie Marotta. This is Wild Savannah, which came out a while ago, depending on where you are in the country. I think in Europe, or it came out a little bit sooner than it did here. But this is either her third or her fourth book, depending on if you count the special edition of Wild Kingdom in Animal Kingdom in that list. So let's get started. This book retails for $9.82 on Amazon.com, and it is 92 pages. It has one test sheet in the back. As her two other main books, it is double-sided. So you can see here, and we're going to try to go through the pictures. I think the detailing in this one is a little bit more than in her previous book. I think it's got a little bit more detail, but not so much as we saw with Lost Ocean, which I think was a little bit too fine of detail. But this is a little bit finer, but it's not like excessive by any means. I was totally able to do this. You can get in there with your pencils, and they don't need to be super sharp, and still get in a good bit of detail. So there is that, and as the title suggests, this is this sort of features more savanna animals, but like there's some other animals too that you might not find in the African savanna. You know, like I think I saw a kangaroo in here at one point. So I maybe it's you know, like semi-desert kind of animals. Hyenas, you know, like all sorts of really not your regular garden animals, shall we say. These are more exotic is the right word, possibly. But you get your mix of your birds, your mammals, your insects. She always has a lot of insects in her books. As I said in the past, I'm not really a fan of insects, but she does have them. This book, I think I'm super excited because her second book is going to be coming out in the special edition version, which I'm super excited about, and I cannot wait. There's some hippos here, and I think this one would be great in the special edition. This one reminds me of a picture that was in her first book. So there's some similarities here, and there's definitely pictures like this one that have a lot more detail that you can get into if you want to get into all the super fine details. And if you go on Instagram and you check the hashtag for her book. By the way, I'm on Instagram, so if you haven't joined me on Instagram, you should, because that's where I talk about my personal life much more. You see me like when I go to the museum. Oh, and speaking of going out, while I was out, I ran into a fan, and I was like, somebody just walked up to me, and it was so exciting. I felt like I was like, you know, somebody special. It was pretty awesome and exciting to meet a fan. So if you see me, don't be shy, you know, say hi. So that was pretty cool, and that was at a bookstore while I was shopping for coloring books, of course, which is what I do. But it felt really good to be out and about and to be feeling much better. So there's some ostriches here, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get to, because I know people have requested that they see every page. I thought you guys might be bored by seeing every page, but people request to see every page, so I try to show you every page. So there's a lot of pages too where you fill in the detail. where you know, she wants you to fill in the details. But what I would do with these pages actually is I'll give a link at the bottom to my watercolor video where I showed you how to trace the pages. But these pages that have slightly less detail are perfect for tracing onto watercolor paper, so that you can use these if you want to use watercolor paints on these pages. These are perfect for that. But I think there was one here where I used this is colored pencil, but there's a page here where I used watercolor pencil, and I think you can use watercolor pencil. This is just regular color pencil. Let me show you so you can see how this medium looks. This is just regular color pencil. This is a fairly light color, and that is Stewie playing with a ball. Let me see if you can see him. Stewie, because you know he likes to play when we're filming. He needs to go to the vet too. Again, he always has to go to the vet because he's got a like a breathing condition, and he hates going to the vet. But he needs to go, so he's gonna go. He won't be happy, but you know, he'll be healthy, and that's what counts. And then there's a test page at the end here. But let me find the page that I did with the color. This is that page. I should have marked this page in advance. Oh, here it is. So I did this with watercolor pencil, and let me show you the dry watercolor pencil, which is what, you know, color pencil will look like. And then once I applied some water to it, and I'm going to continue that all along the path, and that's pretty much how I'm going to do this. I'm going to if you can see the back here, you can see the back page. It looks really good. There is a little bit of warping. This is not as thick as the one that she used for the special edition book. Stewie's having a riot over there again. This is not as thick as the paper that she used for a special edition book, but if you don't use a lot of water, you can totally use watercolor pencil. I'm not sure that I would do watercolor paints, but if you do watercolor pencils and you limit yourself to working in the small sections at a time, you should be fine, and you should be able to use this other page with just regular pencil. So I wouldn't do 2 pages where you're doing the watercolor pencil, but if you want to do just, you know, 1 page, or even, you know, copy it or trace it or whatever, you can do that. So you saw the color pencil, the watercolor pencil, and let me show you the marker. So this is the marker. So that's going pretty hard, and this is India ink. You know, as always, if you get your Copics out, they will bleed, your Copics. So this is actually pretty good. This doesn't look like it bled all that much, so this is actually pretty good. And you should be able to use those kinds of markers, and your water-based markers should be fine. So that's really good. And then there's a test page here, which I use a test page for mapping out the colors for doing the giraffes. I really wanted to do, I don't know if you saw the giraffe. I ended up getting a picture of an actual giraffe and then using that as my template over here for doing the giraffe, because I actually thought in my head that the light color was on the inside, but then when I looked at a picture, it's just like a very light color on the outside here, and then inside the little dots is where it gets that darker color. So that's another tip for you. If you're struggling to do an animal, you want to make it look like semi-realistic, you can get a picture of an actual animal as like a reference photo. So this is what I'm using. But I was using this to see how they would layer and how the different colors would look together. And then you can match that up with this actual paper instead of, you know, maybe getting a slightly different result with a different kind of paper. So that's one of the benefits of having a sheet here. And this is the back of this previous sheet, but you can also take out this other separate sheet and either cut it or use it as is in the book. So that's really nice that they gave you a sheet. I wish they gave you 2, but you know, whatevs. So anyway, I am super excited about this book, and I cannot actually wait to get this book in the special edition. I'm really hoping this one comes out in the special edition. If you go on Instagram, you'll see people have done amazing things with this image in particular. So you go on Instagram and you check people out. But anyway, I am so glad to be back, and thank you everyone so much for your kind words and for watching this video all the way to the end, and for everything. You guys have been so amazing to me, and I am super excited to be back. I'm going to be doing 1 video a week for a little bit, and then once I get you know, once I get a little bit more settled back into the rhythm, we'll go back up to 2 videos a week. But we're just going to do 1 video a week just to not, you know, go crazy. But thank you guys again so much for being there for me and for staying subscribed, even though I've been gone for, I think, like 2 months. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done. You guys have been so wonderful, so many kind words. I cannot thank you guys enough, and I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, leave the questions at the bottom, or leave any comments at the bottom. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start recording like a Q&A at the end of the videos, so that for future videos, at the very end of the videos, there'll be like a little Q&A section, so that your questions will get answered in the Q&A section. And I got that idea from Owings Art, and I'll give a link to his channel because he's pretty amazing too, so you should check him out and subscribe to him if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, have a good day, and thank you. Bye.